is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for the last one, would you believe, of our 7 days of art journaling. I can't believe we've done actually 7 days already. In fact, now I'm kind of thinking perhaps we're only up to 5 days. 6 days, sorry. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, yeah, 6. I can't believe it. It's gone so quickly. I've had such a lovely time doing this art journaling. Yeah, I just can't believe it's actually kind of 7 days are up already. Now I'm going to fold this over again. I haven't ended up doing the whole 7 days in this craft coloured scrapbook, which I've absolutely loved. You know, I really love this craft coloured paper, and I just think it's made a really nice job of kind of acting as an art journal for this. Now I have brought along some stamps. Now they are vintage, but not hugely, or perhaps they're not even vintage. They came in a kind of bundle of stamps where I got lots of vintage stamps, and then I guess they just chucked these in as probably a freebie. So I've got loads of those in the blues. I've got then some other not hugely vintage stamps, or possibly not vintage stamps at all. So I thought I'm going to use some of those as a bit of a background. And then I've got some in other colours. These are all obviously British stamps. I mean, in my opinion, not very interesting or anything like that. But we do have some nice colours and things. So, hopefully we're going to kind of, use some up. So that's going to be a good thing to do. So let's just pop them back in there. Now, I've also then got these huge butterflies. Now, at the point of filming, these are not in my shop. These are going to be my nature set of large images. They are not complete. So yeah, they may or may not be in my shop. I've got the large images with the vintage images. They are already in my shop now. But as I'm filming this, I'm still trying to get these kind of right and finish them off. So at this point, these are not in my shop. And when they are, I'm not sure whether this particular one is going to be in there or not. It might be that it's a little bit too bright. I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm kind of still working on these, but obviously, links to my shop and what have you, they're all below my video in the description box. So, I mean, do go over and check it out, and, feel free to email me, if you've got any questions or you're wondering. If you look around in the shop and you can't find them, feel free to email me, because I can let you know then whether they are on or aren't in my shop, as yet. But like I say, the vintage images definitely are. These are the nature sets, which, I'm hoping that I'm going to have worked on and will get them up before these videos, but who knows? It just depends really on my upload schedule, as to whether or not these will be, available yet or not. Right, okay, so I'm using these because I thought let's have kind of maybe one, maybe two really big butterflies. So obviously they go really nicely with those blue stamps. Now this is going to take me a long while to stick these stamps down. I'm feeling like this is going to be a complete video on its own, and I don't want to just literally bore the pants off everybody. So I'm wondering whether I'll just stick a few down and then either do some off camera and then come back, or, perhaps I won't have as many stuck down as I'm thinking. Because to be fair, everywhere where I'm going to have something, I could maybe kind of do without. Who knows? So I'm going to just apply Mod Podge down here as my method of gluing. And I mean, the good thing is, obviously, I did kind of dab all over this page with my my inks in the previous video, and obviously these are going to now just cover up all of that. So yeah, it's all good. Honestly, I can't tell you how much of a lovely time I've had doing this art journaling. It's been such good fun, and really kind of got me back into it, because like I said, I'd kind of done some, I'd got quite into it, and was quite good at doing not good at doing the art journaling, but good at making myself do them, or good at good at the practice of coming on to do it, if you see what I mean. Not meaning, oh, I'm really good at art journaling. I don't mean that. I just mean, you know what I mean. So yeah, I'd got quite good at, you know, getting in the habit, I suppose, of doing art journaling. And then I just seemed to get out of it, and really annoying because, you know, I was actually really, really loving it. And, you know, it just goes like that sometimes, doesn't it? That you're kind of really into something and then, you know, you just get out of the habit, you kind of start doing some other things. And before you know it, you've not done it for ages. And that's just how it had gone really for me. So no, you know, no particular reason for it or anything, but just, yeah, just it kind of, you know, I didn't end up kind of doing it. So that's my doorbell. So just hold on for 2 moments. I'm hoping my son's going to get that. So, hold on. Oh. Hang on. It's annoying because I just put down that big glodge of Mod Podge. Not sure that's an expression I can really use, but you know. Right, just get a couple more stamps on and then I'm going to just have to go and answer the door because I can't hear any movement from my son. So hold on. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. It was actually my daughter. She's stayed at her dad's for a couple of nights, and yeah, I didn't know what time she was coming back. I had emailed and asked, and yeah, didn't know. So yep, she's just got back. So she's just putting her bag away, and then hopefully she's going to come up and join us. I said that I'm doing one of my art journal pages that she'd snubbed the other day, telling me that, what are you talking about, Mum? That's not art, that's just gluing and sticking. And yeah, I suggested that she come up and do some art journaling whilst I'm doing my video. She can do something in her book as well. So hopefully she's going to come and join us and, you know, do something at the same time. So here we go. So hello, sweetie pie. I was just saying we were hoping that you were going to come to join in, because you're going to hopefully do some art journaling stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Here we go. Just paste this down like that. Okay. So did you have a nice time while you were gone?
Yeah.
We all missed you so much, my sweetie pie. Nice to have you home. It's all good to have you home. Right. Do you like my background so far?
Yeah,
or is it a bit boring?
It
is going to take a long time. I did actually say I'm not going to do all of this on camera because it would be pretty boring to watch, but I'm just kind of slinging them down, so hopefully it's not going to take as long as it, you know, looks like. Oh, it's fine. You do your one, darling. Whoops.
What am I going to do?
Where's your art book? So you grab your art book and see what you're going to do for your page. Like, I showed you those pages that I'd done the other day, didn't I? Do you remember the ones that you said, Mum, that's not art, that's just gluing and sticking? Do you remember?
Yes, and why is
So,
it pretty and you threw it in the bin? It's a white, but it was pretty.
Oh yeah, it's the wipe from yesterday with all my inking.
Ooh.
So you get your book and you can do some art journaling in your way, you know, your way of art journaling, which she obviously classes more like art than mine. Mine, which is to her just gluing and sticking. I mean, she's right, isn't she, really? That's all I'm doing is gluing and sticking. But hey, it feels like art to me. You know, we're still creating something gorgeous and lovely. You could actually put that on your page. Yeah. Are you going to do something kind of drawery, or are you going to actually just glue and stick like Mummy?
I'm going to stick this on, but I might draw.
I thought you might. Because you wouldn't feel like it was art, would you? If you were just gluing and sticking like Mummy does. Now, obviously, because I have that whole matchy-matchy thing going on and, you know, kind of struggle with the, oh, got too many colours, I actually don't know whether I'm going to manage to incorporate the other coloured stamps here. You know, I said, oh, I've got all these other coloured stamps. I actually don't know whether I'm going to manage to get them on, or whether actually to me they're going to then feel like they're not matching at all. Oh, sweetie pie, I'm going to need those. Are you going to bring them back, yeah? Okay. Right. So, like that. Oh, I hope this page looks good. You know, kind of, I'm now getting a bit doubtful and thinking, oh, this is going to look really rubbish. But hopefully it's going to look good. So, well, I mean, good in a sense. So, yeah. Hopefully I will be sort of pleased with it when it's done. So, there we go. So I'm filming this in the run up to Christmas, you know, so the schools have finished, so hence my daughter's kind of stayed with her dad for a couple of nights. And yeah, so we're in the throes of getting ready for Christmas, which probably all feels like a distant memory now to everybody, but that's when I was filming this.
22nd of December,
22nd, yeah, good girl. You just listened to the radio or something on your way back. No? How do you know it's the 22nd then? Where did you hear that? How come you're keeping track of the date? I mean, I would say it would be her advent calendar. But would you like to confess what you did with your advent calendar? She's laughing. Laughing. It's no laughing matter, I can tell you.
I ate all my chocolates.
Yeah, but when did you eat them? Seriously? Like about 10 days ago. Yep, her calendar was in the kitchen, you know, which is where I always kind of keep the... Oh, I need the scissors, darling. Where I keep the scissors. The scissors? Where I keep the calendars, you know. And, yeah, it was kind of turned round, facing away from me. And, you know, I thought, oh, that's a bit strange. Anyway, I didn't really think anything of it. And then my son said, oh, my goodness, have you seen her calendar? I said, no, why? He said, look. And she'd eaten loads of the chocolates, so there was like not many doors left. But there were some. Well, by about 2 days later, they were completely empty. I said to her, well, you know, you're not going to have the chocolates now to count the Christmas countdown with, you know, to do the Christmas countdown with. So fancy eating them all.
I'm hungry.
Well, so you say.
I don't do that normally with my chocolates because that was Kinder chocolate.
Yeah, that was all I could get was these Kinder advent calendars. Everything was sold out, and I mean, I'm really rubbish and kind of leave things to the last minute. So of course it was like, you know, the 30th of November, and I was there shopping for advent calendars. Well, nowhere had any, would you believe? Absolutely nowhere. So in the end, all I could get was a couple of calendars from Amazon, and yeah, I had to get these Kinder Egg ones. Oh my goodness, they were like £5. So pretty expensive, and not what I would have chosen to buy. So I'm thinking over there. Well,
Because it had like big
we
chocolates.
can tell that you liked them, obviously. There you go. Yeah, she obviously liked them, but I thought they were pretty expensive. Right, okay, so what I might do is have all the stamps kind of thing, but leave this space in the middle. Couldn't tell you why. Got no kind of reasoning behind that, but I just thought that might be quite fun to do. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is just gesso over my page. Now, obviously, my sponge is very wet now with the Mod Podge. I mean, that shouldn't really be a problem, but I'm just going to kind of dab it off a bit, so it's a little bit less saturated. Okay, so and again I'm just going to use that clear Mod Podge that I've the clear gesso that I've used, you know, in all the other pages, so that hopefully I'm not kind of detracting from my, you know, craft coloured paper. Okay, so just going whoops all over. Oops, like that. Oh, well, that's cool, isn't it? She's cutting the wipe that I had used yesterday, you know, for dabbing up the ink. I had such a good time yesterday playing with those inks. Aren't they lovely colours, sweetie? Really pretty, aren't they? So you haven't obviously seen the page I did yesterday because obviously you weren't here, but I will show you it after after I finish today's. Hopefully you'll really like it. It's a little bit more creative, a little bit less, you know, cutty and sticky. So hopefully you'll be really impressed. There was a bit more art going on. No drawing. No drawing still, but, you know, ink. Yeah, lots of inks. Which are just lovely, aren't they? Right. Now, when I now go round this, I want to obviously put some texture on here, maybe with some of my heavy gesso. So, do I want to go for white gesso, keeping the page nice and, you know, white and bright and clean? Do I want to go for black gesso, or do I want to kind of colour it with something? And, you know, maybe then make it blue gesso or something. Oh, I don't know. Don't know. Okay, right. I have to say, I love that background so far with just all those blue stamps. It looks really cool, doesn't it? Oops. Struggling to put that on. Well, I've finished now because I'm not going to do the whole thing. So I'm just going to kind of like spare everyone having to watch me do the whole thing.
When did you start it?
Oh, literally just before you rang on the doorbell. Right, okay, so what colour gesso do we want? I've brought along the leaf stencil because I thought that would be rather nice to use on here. Just kind of holding it here so as I can kind of get a feel. I mean, obviously I've got the black. I've got lots of black on the butterfly, so we could do black. We could go all out and do something like blue. Or, of course, we could just do white. Do you know, I'm kind of thinking, actually, let's just do white, really.
Yes.
You think white as well, do you?
I'm kind of impressed that you've only done that, like today, and you've, like, got so much of those stamps on it.
I know. Didn't take 5 minutes after all, did it? So I'm just going to quickly dry this off on the gesso. Okie dokie. So I'd love to hear if you're doing some art journaling with me. Have you been joining along with the series? If you have, how have you found the process? You know, have you improved? Have you got fed up with it? You know, how's it been for the 7 days? I have absolutely loved it, I have to say. Yeah, really had a lot of fun doing these art journal layouts. So hopefully it's got me on a good start, and you know, I'm going to kind of hopefully keep up with this throughout 2022, and yeah, kind of not just let it drift like I did in the end in 2021. It just kind of went by the wayside, and it ended up I hadn't done an art journal page for a really long time. Okay. And like all these things, you know, I think it's quite helpful to kind of keep doing it, because you get out of it so quickly. Okay, there we go. Right, let's get some of that heavy gesso in the white. Okie dokie. Now, I'm thinking maybe I should go a bit more kind of like in the middle, because every time I always go straight to the corners and the sides. So yeah, perhaps I should go a bit more middly. With this one. So, right. There we go. And it's just best to just get it down before I change my mind, to be honest. Because if I sit here thinking about it, you know, I'll chicken out and, yeah, won't bring myself to do anything. So just get it down before I can change my mind. So we might do the Christmas food shopping today, sweetie. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Love how that crisp white looks against those stamps. Isn't that just gorgeous? And then, yeah, I might do some more here. Okay. So, I mean, Christmas food shop for us, it's kind of just like generally lots of chocolate and crisps, it's got to be said. Chocolate and crisps, and weirdly those Indian snacks, you know, like the frozen Indian snacks that you get. like onion bhajis and the, yeah, samosas and that kind of stuff. Yeah, and weirdly enough, oh, and we do normally get a cheese board. Because the boys really like it, you know, like a cheese board. But yeah, I mean, funnily enough, everyone can't wait for the food shop. They can't wait for those, you know, those types of foods. It's surprising how quickly they all get sick of eating it, you know. That sort of, I don't know, about kind of day 4, I say, oh, you know, what should we have kind of for dinner? What should we have for tea? Shall I just cook up some of those snacks and things like that? And they all say, oh, no, can't we have something, you know, proper? And I already said yesterday to my son, I said, right, I'm not cooking over this whole Christmas period. He was like, oh, like you do anyway. That's not really how he talks, but you know, yeah, oh, like you do anyway. Because, yeah, I've lost the will to live with cooking since the lockdowns, really. You know, I mean, obviously I do cook, but yeah, it's kind of like less and less lovingly as time goes by. Got to be said. I used to really like cooking, and yeah, just over time, I'm not saying I dislike it, but I probably just feel fed up with it, you know, that it's like, oh, for goodness sake, you know, just cooking something else. Oh, and it sometimes just feels like people are not really very grateful for what they're eating or anything, and I just think, oh, why did I bother? You know, because sometimes I just think, well, hang on, it's like that little red hen, isn't it? You know, I do the shopping, pay for the shopping, I put the shopping away, I cook the meal, you know, they do clear up generally. But yeah, you know, oh, I don't know. Anyway, right, I'm just going to dry this off. That's it, 5 minutes. Oh, lovely. Looking forward to seeing what you create. Okay, and this gesso always seems to take longer than I expect for some reason, so yeah. Preparing myself for that. Sorry. What's that? What colour paint? Oh, page. Oh, are you having all those colours on it? Pink? Or green? Green, I think. Yeah, she's having bright, lovely colours on her page. She's like me. She's very drawn to colour, aren't you, sweetheart? Okay, right. Yeah, I tried to do a click and collect for the Christmas shop, and I apologise if I'm repeating myself now, because I'm aware that I may do another video after doing the Christmas shopping and be, you know, going on about the experience of the Christmas shopping. So I do apologise if that ends up to be the case. But about that, for some reason, my camera had run out of, you know, my phone had run out of storage, so that was annoying. Right, now, wondering whether to break it up with maybe like a bit of kind of texty or something in the background, because otherwise it probably, you know, not overly interesting. So yeah, let's just tear this down. I do like a torn edge, as you know. And do I want it torn on all edges? That's the question. Maybe not. I might have it sort of like that. Yeah, I thought that I would, you know, cut those butterflies in half and have them off the edge, really, because I think sometimes it's easy to just kind of go with what we always do, which of course would be putting them, I'm not saying in the middle of the page, but, you know, on the page fully. So I thought, well, actually, let's just cut them down and have them kind of more, you know, hanging off. So there we go. Okay. Perhaps I want to have that over a bit. Like that. Okay. Right, let me get my dry wipe now. Okay. Thank you, sweetie.
Now, will you stick,
Thinking cover that stamp up. Sorry, sweetheart.
like this?
Oh, nice one, yeah. I'm not going to hot glue them, I'm going to wet glue them, I think.
Okay, look at that.
Yeah. So she's making her own page with these kind of like stripy. Let me just move this in case any of my gesso's wet. So yeah, she's kind of like, oh, you know what actually would be better? I think is the double-sided tape.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's tape them together.
I think everything I asked you to like glue everything was just tape.
Well, not always, but I think these would be good taped together, don't you?
Yeah.
So you're going for a really colourful page, aren't you?
Going with all the colours out on the thing.
Okay.
I'm going to put
Whoops.
the orange on the blue because then it matches. But I'm going to put the blue on the purple.
Like that? Yeah? Oh, you should have seen her face. She kind of like, ah, yeah. Really liked the look of that, didn't you? Okay, right. Oops. Oh, that's going to look gorgeous. There you go. There you go, sweetie. Right, okay. Let's pull this back in.
It's like it just like came like
It does look like it came like that. Right, now I can either cover that stamp up here with that butterfly, or I can kind of put it down there and then I could put, you know, maybe a real life blue stamp on there. I think either is fine. Perhaps I'll put the stamp down and then decide in a minute, but okay. Right, that's that. Looking good. Right. So with my other parts of my butterfly, we could have like another one coming off over here, which I thought would look cool. With them kind of like with that space in the middle. Oh, just wondering. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? To have them kind of like overlapping or underlapping. Not sure whether you call it overlapping or underlapping, to be honest, but or could have like multiple. No, I'm going to have that coming out underneath because I think that looked really nice there. So let's just get this, gluing this down with the wet glue, and then going to put this one like on top, hopefully with the hot glue. And it's just kind of then making that butterfly be a bit more standouty, isn't it? And you know what I should have bought? I should have bought some white paint. Still haven't bought any. Yeah, because I mean obviously that was only yesterday that kind of happened, where I really wanted the white paint, but now I'm obviously looking at this page thinking, oh, you know what would have been really nice is some white paint. And I'm talking like that really crisp kind of like thick, you know, thick white paint. You know, I think would look really cool on this page, but yeah, kind of too late now, so just gonna have to go with what I have. Right, so yeah, liking how that looks, very cool. Let's see if we want to do the same sort of thing here with those double wings, or whether I want to have it anywhere else. It's becoming a bit too wingy, isn't it? Yeah, a bit too wingy really. So do we want it kind of like that, or is that too big? Maybe like that. Yeah, okay, so let's just glue this one down. So this is very, you know, colourless so far. We've just got, obviously, the blues and the whites, and obviously that, you know, craft colour. I'm quite liking it, to be honest, quite colourless. I mean, I started out with this, you know, my art journal layouts being really, really, really highly coloured, didn't we? And, yeah, I mean, maybe this is kind of nice to do something really different. Or perhaps I will suddenly smother it with some colourful things in a minute. I'm not sure. Could go either way. But I mean, actually, it's quite nice to do something really different, isn't it? So maybe keeping it, you know, just these colours is the way to go. Love how that looks. I mean, absolutely yummy and scrummy, isn't it? Yummy and scrummy and gorgeous. So yeah, really, really love that. Now, thinking perhaps just kind of go with the blue. Just gonna see what it would look like with any sort of addition of colour. I mean, I always do love colour, but do you know what? I'm, for the first time ever, I think, kind of like thinking, oh, actually, I think maybe I want to just stick with the white and blue. You're doing colour on colour, yeah. Well, I'm kind of like normally all for colour on colour myself, and done some really colourful layouts, but yeah, I'm for once thinking, you know what? Maybe in this case, I'm thinking less is more. So yeah, now, I quite liked those spots that we did yesterday, weirdly enough, with the white gel pens. So I'm thinking perhaps we'll do some spots. Now I've also got this film strip, which I'm thinking that might look quite nice. Just have a look. Got some alphabet bits here, so we could stamp some of those in the background actually. They might look quite good. Obviously these will be black, but that's okay because I've got the black here, you know, on the butterflies. So, you know, although it's not white or anything, I feel like that's okay because I have got black already in here. So okay, ooh, that's nice, isn't it? So let's just put some more of that down somewhere else, maybe over here. Okay, maybe a row under. Well, that didn't stamp very well, did it? Okay. Put some down here. Oh, I really like how that is with just those touches of black. They look really nice, don't they? So, yeah. Right, let me get some blue paint. Oh, I feel nervous now. Like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm going to just ruin this by putting some blue on. Now, I've also got some of that patina, which I know that obviously I said I really enjoyed using the other day, and I happen to have some in blue. So, I mean, look at that lovely colour. Kind of thinking, you know, we could maybe get some of that in there. Wondering about doing some sort of black shading or something around here. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is get my blue on here first. Now, oh, I feel nervous, very nervous. Right, okay, let's get those stamps out of the way, get all these bits out of the way. So I'm just going to use this area here like a sort of little palette. Oh, that's very blue, isn't it? Yep, it's probably a bit darker than I'd hoped for, but again, I mean, let's just sort of dab it on and see what we think. Oh, nice. Nice. It's very rich, very, very gorgeous. Yeah, love how that looks. Okay. Just go along the bottom. Oh, that's such a gorgeous colour blue, I have to say. Really, really lovely. Okay, and we'll just fill in a bit here as well. Don't want to necessarily go right over in that corner because I feel a bit like that's what I always do. So I'm just going to wipe this over on that gesso a bit. So just take that across here a bit more. Love how that looks. Right, and we'll just put a bit here, just running down this edge, I think. Love how this looks. It's so gorgeous. I love these colours together. They're just really, really beautiful, aren't they? So I'm just going to go in a little bit here as well. Now, obviously that postcard does not have any gesso on it, so it's not necessarily obviously very blendable on there, you know, but hopefully looks okay. Oh, I love how that looks. That's so scrumptious. Right, okay, so do we think that's probably enough of that colour? Got this colour now. So just in case you're wondering, because that has turned out such a lovely colour, hasn't it? So that is this Do Crafts Artiste paint, and it's the all-purpose acrylic, and it's called Bahama Blue. That's what that one was. Absolutely beautiful colour, isn't it? This one again, I don't think I've actually used this. Oh, I must have done, because actually it's quite messy. Electric Blue, again, it's the Do Crafts acrylic paints. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that. Now I'm just applying this with a wipe. You know, I quite like using the wipes with paints. I think, you know, I seem to have a bit more perhaps success with the wipes. You know, again, I'm not saying that's necessarily, you know, correct method or anything else, but for me that just seems to work quite well. So, you know, sometimes we just have to go for what we've discovered works well for us, don't we? So yeah, I kind of find that a winning method. So yeah, just going across like that, and then might just touch up this little bit here, just on there a bit. Maybe a bit up here as well. Okay. Just so as we've got, you know, a bit of kind of different stuff going on. Oh, I love how that looks. It's so pretty, isn't it? Honestly, that blue, it's just jumping off the page. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. Oh my goodness, that looks lovely. What did you use for that then?
Like this stuff. Well, I'm going to cover that pink with a different pink.
Looks lovely.
I think in the middle it looks kind of brown.
Oh, does it? Right, let's check out this blue. This is quite purple looking, so I'm now thinking, hope I don't spoil it by the addition of this. Yeah, it's got a bit of a purpley thing going on, hasn't it? You know, yeah, I'm kind of preferring the other blues, but having said that, there is some of this in that butterfly, so I guess, you know, it is being picked up somewhere, if you know what I mean. It's not like it's just kind of randomly come out of nowhere. Oh, I watched that Michael McIntyre again the other day, and I've probably talked about him before. He's a comedian over here. I don't know whether he's kind of less necessarily known everywhere. I assume he is, but who knows. But he's a British comedian, and oh, he's so funny, honestly.
Can I have your tape?
Yep, yep. He's so funny, and yeah, it's on his thing that's on Netflix, and it's called Showman, Michael McIntyre Showman, and he's talking about sharks, you know, shark attacks in Australia. And he just keeps saying, you know, and this shark, it literally came out of nowhere. And I mean, oh, I don't like to embarrass myself by trying to attempt an Australian accent, but he is so funny, you know, because he just makes this valid point, and he's like, came out of nowhere, you know, it was in the water, in its natural habitat. What are you talking about? It was so funny. So yeah, if you haven't seen him, or you haven't seen that particular you know, show of his, oh, it's so worth a watch, honestly. He's just hilarious. And I think what's quite nice about him, he's kind of like, he's not really too rude. I mean, one or two things are a little bit rude, but hopefully as some of those go over young people's heads anyway. You know, very small people's heads, probably not my son's, unfortunately. But yeah, young people's heads. And, you know, he doesn't seem to swear too much. And, he's kind of like good, clean family humour. Which, I mean, I love Ricky Gervais. I find him very, very funny. Again, if you're kind of viewing this from somewhere other than the UK, Ricky Gervais is the one he's hosted the Golden Globes, I think, over the last couple of years. And, I mean, he's very funny from the point of view, I think he's very clever. He's like a people watcher. And, you know, he just often spots things that, you know, I don't know, just... what would I say? Yeah, people's behaviours, really. So, you know, Michael McIntyre, he is similar as in he takes ordinary, what's the word? Ordinary occurrences, I suppose, or everyday things, and makes it very funny because you think, oh my goodness, I do that. Oh, I do that. I do that. You know, so he's very relatable. Ricky Gervais is more like an observer of other people. And, you know, like, I mean, he's the guy who obviously created The Office. And I know that obviously The Office is in America as well. And, you know, I have watched a lot of the American Office as well, which I really enjoyed. But he just does things that, you know, kind of when you watch it, you think, oh, that's just like so-and-so at work, you know, or that's just like this character at work. And, you know, just kind of manages to capture these things about people that is like, oh yeah, that's just like, you know, you do always get that kind of person in the office, or, you know, in an office or in a workplace, or, you know, that kind of thing. Michael McIntyre, he's kind of more observes, you know, what we do as people. And, you know, he's very funny because you kind of watch it and think, oh my goodness, yeah, I do that. Oh my goodness, I do that. I do that. I do that. So he's got loads of really hilarious sketches. I mean, if you haven't watched him, honestly, check him out. I just find him really, really, really funny. You know, he just takes, yeah, just everyday things that probably a lot of us do, you know, maybe without even kind of like realising that we do it, or we realise we do it, but we haven't ever kind of like considered how weird or pointless or funny or strange or, you know, whatever that it actually is. But, you know, they're things that so many people do that you're like, ooh, you know. Yeah, very funny. So, yeah, if you haven't seen him, check him out. Definitely, definitely, he's worth watching. Right, I'm going to get my little white gel pen now, and I'm just going to go over a couple of the markings that are on the, you know, the butterfly.
Help me take a bit off.
Oh, I will. I'm just in a bit of a sort of crucial situation here.
Is that gel pen?
It is. I love these gel pens. I'm just going around some of those bits on the butterfly, trying to kind of emphasise a little bit. Oh dear, now I'm thinking, am I ruining this? Like I've ruined the flowers every single time.
White spider now.
Oh, what? You're remembering the spider flower?
White
You're
spider.
so mean. So mean.
Yeah, he's a white spider.
We laughed about my horrible spider flowers the other day. Look, I was trying not to remember those. I can't believe you've brought that up again. You're so mean.
That one looks better.
Do you think? I'm not sure whether it does, to be honest, but...
How do you even get these out? Like, it's called tape, but it's basically...
Okay, I'm not sure I've done a very good job of that either. I mean, really, I should just give up doing this kind of thing because, you know, every day I've kind of ruined the flowers. I've now ruined my butterflies. So I'm just going to go over now with my black water pencil. Again, if I had a Sharpie, or, well, I have got a Sharpie, but, you know, if I had a thinner Sharpie, I'd probably go over with that. But I'm just going to tone it down slightly with the black pencil. So there we go. Okay.
Yeah, I did it.
Good girl, sweetie. Right. Okay. Bit as well. Yay! Right. Do we want some of those white spots? I know. What am I doing? It's because I like using the white pen, obviously. That's kind of what's drawing me to want to do that. But yeah, I had great fun doing those white spots yesterday, so I'm thinking going to just do a couple of white spots. I should really pull my sleeve up, because if that blue's wet, of course all I'm doing now is getting it all over my jumper. Okay. So a few little white spots there. Okay, and I might just do like a couple here or something going around the bit there. Maybe do a few more of those because they looked really pretty actually. Okie dokie, and oh, where else? I'm going spot mad now. Like I say, I'm really just doing this because I like drawing the spots. There's something quite nice about drawing those spots. Right, just going to go around here.
Now it's time to be sticking things on. I'm excited.
You're excited, are you? Right, might have to just put a few more of these because I feel like they're a bit in a line. So yeah, just going to kind of spread them out a bit. Okay. Maybe one here. Yep. Okay, maybe one just there. Oh, you know what we could have here? We could have spread your wings as a really nice kind of sentiment. I mean, you don't always have to have a sentiment, do you? But I mean, that's kind of nice to have, to be honest. Just wondering if we want any white in the corners. Not sure. I'll just put a tiny bit.
Some of the pink is coming out of the yellow, so I'm going to cover it with some of this on the side.
Oh, okay.
Some of the orange.
Good idea.
Okay.
Okay. It's not really working, is it? But just kind of scratching into that and getting a weird colour. So yeah, right. Might have to go back over that with that blue patina now, because I seem to have kind of like done something weird in that corner now. Although actually, maybe I need to just persevere. Right. So sorry about this. Okay, let's just. Okay. I just need it to be crisper and not bleeding through to the underneath, I think. Again, this is where I'm just wishing that I had my white paint. So yeah, when we go out later, sweetheart, you must remind Mummy I must get some white paint. Oh dear, that looks terrible, doesn't it? That looks terrible. Right. Okay, well, I will have to, yeah, try and go over that with some white paint or something later. Now, should we try and have spread your wings at all? Not sure what I would use to write that now. I mean, if I could actually write nicely, I could just kind of like have it written here. Of course, my writing is not particularly great. I wouldn't necessarily want it, you know, across my pretty layout, because I think it would just spoil it. But yeah, could kind of have that sentiment. Just before I finish, I know, I couldn't quite kind of resist it, could I? Just going to check whether I wanted to have any other things like stuck on here. Just because I've got these, these are, you know, just some Kaisercraft dies, or die cuts, perhaps I should say. And yeah, I just suddenly thought, oh, just going to check how these would look actually. Wouldn't it be handy if there was one saying spread your wings? I mean, of course, we're not going to have that. That would be too lucky, wouldn't it? But that would have been handy. Oh, I don't know. No, probably none of those. Let me just double check, because I've got some other die cuts just sat here to the side of me. So just before I kind of give up on the die cuts, I'm just going to see. Oh, I've got these. These are a bit discoloured and awful looking because they're really old now. Again, they're one of those things that I've hoarded, and now it's just looking like, you know, they're never going to get used now. So I should have just used them when I first got them, to be honest. And that's just so often the place, isn't it? The way. That's so often the way. Right, so not those. Let me just quickly, before I give up, just see if I've got any others.
Never give up.
Well, not give up, but, you know, finish the page. No, none in there. Let me just double check in my little bag that I take to my mum's house. So yeah, just in case there's anything in there. No, I can't see anything in there either. I think I'm just gonna have to leave it as it is. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna, can't quite leave it, so I'm just gonna try, just because that was in that bag. I mean, it does look pretty with the addition of colour, doesn't it, to be honest? But yeah, I was kind of thinking leave it colourless. And, you know, I haven't got quite the right thing that's just, you know, pulling me and kind of saying, oh, you know, that's the one. So to be honest, if you haven't got the right thing, maybe it's because you shouldn't be using it. Oh, I'm so sorry if you can hear my neighbour now bashing around outside. Oh, what about that? I know that's right in the middle of that page, which is weird. I would never normally kind of do that. But you know, there's something quite nice about that, I think. Yeah, I quite like how that looks, weirdly enough. Yeah, what do we think to that? I think that's really nice. So I'm just going to quickly edge that in black ink. Just so that stands out a bit more. Okay. So it's not quite in the middle, it's just off to the side slightly, which I think is quite nice. So I'm just going to literally glue that down with my hot glue. Like that. Oh, that's so lovely.
I'm nearly finished.
So am I, sweetheart.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not.
Stuck anything on.
Oh, well, you're not nearly finished then. Okay, I'm going to call that quits, I think, for that page, because, to be honest, I really wanted to keep it very neutral. And I'm veering down that kind of path where, you know, very soon, before I know it, I'm going to be sticking on coloured flowers. Because I'm so drawn to colour, you know, I can't resist using colour. And to be honest, I just want to kind of almost challenge myself that I can do a completely kind of colourless layout. I mean, it's not colourless, it's obviously highly coloured blue, isn't it? But, you know, I want to kind of just prove to myself that I can do it without sticking other colours on. But that said, I do love the look of this, and so I might come back and do another sort of similar page another time and add some flowers and things like that, I think. Because, yeah, that did look very pretty, didn't it? Maybe some pink, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that. Right, let's have a quick recap of all the lovely layouts that we have done over this 7 days of art journaling. Right, so I'm just going to give you a recap of all the lovely spreads and pages that we have done during our 7 days of art journaling. I have to say, I struggled to kind of pick a favourite, really. But yeah, I've had such a good time. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. So this was the first one that we did. And we had lots of the florals. We had this gorgeous kind of placky type statue thing in the middle. And yeah, it looks quite grungy, quite vintage. So that's that one. We had this one here with the flower fairies, which I absolutely love. Yeah, I mean, possibly this one may be my favourite because I love the green and it just goes lovely with the lilac and things like that. So yeah, that's that one. We have got this one with the clock, and I love the teal against the pinks and things like that. Absolutely just, yeah, works brilliantly, doesn't it? we had this very vintage looking one with the typewriter. Now I have to say my boys, both of them, this was their favourite. Weird, yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I guess, well, actually, I guess I do, because this is probably the most masculine out of all the pages, isn't it? But yeah, they both said they liked this one best. So that was that one. We then did this one with the lovely lady on the, you know, like chaise lounge kind of thing, lounging there. Yeah, absolutely, you know, just really love how that turned out. So we did this one yesterday. Now, you can probably see the ink has kind of gradually run into that gel pen. So what were bright white dots are now kind of slightly more purpley. I could go over those possibly with the gel pen again, or, you know, white paintbrush or something. Personally, I don't mind it. I think it looks okay. But yeah, I mean, if it bothered me, I would go over them again. But again, really, really love how that turned out. And I had such a lovely time doing that. So the last two, I really have not kind of gone to town too much sticking background papers on. I wanted to kind of more do, well, not more arty, but, you know, something a bit less gluey and sticky, as my daughter would say, and a bit more kind of like getting messy with paints and inks and things like that. So this one, you know, we did yesterday. Yeah, this is the one you hadn't seen. You love it. She loves it. She's just stood with her mouth gaping open. And then this one obviously is today's one with the blue and things. So I'm just going to give you a quick close up of that, because I have done with the other ones on the other days. Yeah, I really hope that you like it. I mean, I just, yeah, really loved doing that. So thank you, sweetie.
That might be my favourite.
The blue one?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Because I haven't seen the other ones yet. I've only seen...
So I will show you all of them in a moment. So yeah, she hadn't seen the last two. So yeah, I hope that you like it. I hope you've had a blast doing your art journaling with me. And yep, I'm going to make it a bit of a mission to do it much more regularly, because, you know, I've had such a good time doing them. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a fab day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.